If you've seen the news, the NSA, federal judge Richard Leon has declared that the NSA sweeping phone calls is unconstitutional. Fourth Amendment violates search and seizure. And one of his big assertions, in his opinion, was that the government, despite being asked numerous times to produce evidence, has not been able to produce any evidence that whatever they're doing is working. They haven't been able to produce any evidence that they're actually getting closer to capturing terrorists or other criminals. And I'm kind of conflicted because the knee-jerk reaction is to support Judge Leon in the ruling and actually to even almost stand up and applaud, say, finally, somebody is willing to find something in this regime unconstitutional. But then something happened today that made me question it. I'll explain when we get back. Hi, how are you? Welcome back. Rush Limbaugh, having more fun than a human being should be allowed to have. Last week, I don't know if it was a caller or if I just launched into this on my own. Wait a minute. What was I going to... Wait a minute. What was I going to explain? I'm having a brain freeze. I was going to explain something right when I went to the break. It'll come to me. I've got 15 things going on here at once, folks. I'm trying to stay focused. There was something right before the break. I said, hang on, it'll come to me. I'll explain when I get back. And I've forgotten what it was. When I went to the break, I had to focus on something totally unrelated to the radio show. You guys in there remember what I was talking about or not? Nobody... Little girl with the things? No. I didn't say that on the air because I don't know if the audio's... I don't know if it'll work yet. You know, this is fascinating. Nobody that works for this program was listening either. And I've forgotten what I said I was going to explain, right? And I'm sure all of you are screaming at the radio what it was. Anyway. Oh, the NSA. The NSA thing. Here's what happened. Yeah, I like everybody else, when the ruling came down and it was found to be... NSA found to be unconstitutional, like everybody else, I sort of applauded if finally something this regime is doing, even if just a little thing here is being found unconstitutional. And then I was watching Fox today, and a man that I really admire, former Attorney General and a federal judge himself, Michael Mukasey, was being interviewed by Bill Hemmer. And Mukasey says he knows Judge Leon, the judge that made the ruling in the NSA case and found NSA data mining and the phone calls unconstitutional. Said, I like Judge Leon and I respect him, but he's dead wrong on this. He said, the only thing the NSA is collecting is metadata. And Hemmer said, well, what's metadata? It's the phone number. And that it's basically the phone number of both phones, and it's nothing to do with the content, nothing to do with the identities behind the phone numbers. That's not possible to know. It could be anybody using anybody's phone to make a phone call. So there's no way that the NSA is spying on people here. They're simply collecting metadata, and therefore doesn't violate the Fourth Amendment. And he was really fervently serious about this, and he was worried that all of this hyper-attention and misunderstanding was going to end up really hampering national security apparatus, national security efforts to discover and detect genuine potential terrorist or criminal activity. And the metadata is basically just the traffic analysis. And if the metadata is illegal, then the NSA may as well go out of business. There isn't any content involved. Nobody, according to Attorney General Mukasey, nobody's phone calls are being listened to. The NSA is not dialing in, tapping, and actually monitoring the voices on phone calls. They don't even know who's making and receiving calls. All they know is the two phone numbers and some other information, but it isn't content. And another point that was made, he says, you've got to be very careful here because there are people who really do want to neuter our intel agencies. There are Americans, there are leftists who really do want to hamper the CIA, who want to hamper the NSA. And they're taking the occasion of what Snowden has leaked, Edward Snowden. And he said, well, Mukasey didn't say this, but it got me. The media is so excited about this. That's a red flag for me. I'm just telling you. You know, if the media really digs something, normally the media would not be happy about the regime being found to be unconstitutional. Normally that would irritate the media because that'd be a black mark on Obama. It'd be a black mark on the regime. How do you dare say that our president's breaking the law? In this case, they're fully behind this ruling. And it's natural that a lot of people would, in the process of misunderstanding what the NSA is doing, would also support the ruling. It almost nabbed me. And I was not standing and cheering when I heard that the judge had found it unconstitutional. I wasn't that exuberant, but I did find myself tending to support it simply because I think this regime is behaving outside the constitution on a daily basis. And any action that signifies that and identifies it and reins it in would tend to get my support. Then I saw the media reaction to this and said, wait a minute. They're too happy about this. So I don't trust the media. The media's interests and mine do not coincide. They're leftists, folks. This is how I do it. Some people may think, well, this is awfully simplistic, Rush. That's what you do. No, it isn't. It really is very simple. And it is really very truthful. The left is who they are, and I don't agree with them about anything. And when they're happy about something, I generally am not. And so then I saw Mukasey on Fox, and he's really, really worried about this, which then gave me pause about this. And that's what I was going to explain at the bottom of the hour break. And it's something that I'm still spending some time informing myself on, trying to avoid a knee-jerk reaction to.